Hello, everybody. My name is Hellkaiser, and welcome back to The Last of Us. We are on episode 11, and I know that for certain this time. I haven't gotten it wrong. Uh, Trying to maintain my schedule. I didn't say it, I don't think, in the last episode, on episode 10, but like I said, it's been a couple weeks since I recorded, and I'm trying to make up for that lost time now. I don't think I got this far up here, did I? Apparently. That looks like spores to me. I'd be scared. Maybe it's because after living through an actual pandemic,
Open. I can crawl through and clear that door.
it just seems like there's so much. Oh, crap.
That is a big rat.
Hope you guys are having a good day today. I don't mean to pause already, but I got some interesting news. I don't think anybody really cares too much because I don't have that big of an audience, but I just got a new dog. I mentioned a few episodes ago, I think it might have been a different series even. No, it was this series because the little boy had that note about his dog. I just got a new dog. I used to have this little mountain cur. I think he was a blue heeler mix named Scooby. And I mentioned he was a very cowardly little dog, but he was a great little dog. And unfortunately, he got sick about 4 or 5, just a little bit, about 2 years before the pandemic. So yeah, 2017. So, it's been a long time. I had a little German Shepherd since then, but it was one of those things. He was very aggressive, just as a puppy, just very aggressive, and so we sent him back. And just I thought maybe it's just because I remembered I only had Scooby for a very short time, well, relatively short time, before he got sick. But there's a lot of memories of that dog. I could name like 30 stories just within a week of having him. And Shadow, what's the name of my German Shepherd, I know he was a little bit younger, but he just didn't seem loving at all, and just, it didn't work out. But a friend saw one of her neighbors had some free puppies, and me and my girlfriend decided we would take a couple in. One is just, we're holding it for our neighbor until they get back. But the one we got is a little German Shepherd boxer mix, and we named him Okami after one of our favorite video games. I might record that now in honor of my new dog, or our new dog, I should say. He looks nothing like Amaterasu from that game, and he's a boy, but I love the name. Okami in Japanese means wolf god, or wolf spirit, or wolf deity, whatever word you want to add there to translate it. But that's what I named him after, because we both thought, we like Japanese stuff. Like I said, I'm big into samurai swords and stuff, and we just both sat down and was thinking of weird names because we're eccentric, and we both looked at cover of Okami on Steam because we've been playing a little bit, and we both said yes, that's the name, and so got a new dog. I hope that he ends up being a good catch for us.
Voila.
He already seems much better than Shadow was. He seems a lot more mature.
Looks like there's a path up ahead.
Join us? Up all the way to
Right here.
Well, I don't know. I'm just gonna have to see how everything pans out.
Oh, so this is just the locker room. Ooh, 50 parts. I'm gone for a few months and the world doesn't waste any time going to shit. Everywhere you turn, they're infected and non-infected trying to kill you. Mankind is back to the food chain, baby. I'm kind of shocked I survived this long. The sewers seem pretty safe. Limited exits and entrances make it easier to defend. If anyone gets in here, I can lose them in the maze. I might not be tough, but I am quick, and maybe I just need to bide my time down here until it all gets sorted out up there. I think I'll become a sewer mole man for a while. Wish me luck, Ish. So Ish survived. So the boat guy, that's the same captain from the boat from yesterday. Glad to know he made it. Good man, Ishmael. Anyway, hope you guys are having a good day. Hope you guys have any good memories that you made today. I said I'd talk about other music. I like how he looked like he's holding his notes, because I imagine, yeah, that's got to be sewer water. Is there anything down there for me to go waddling to that for? No. Anyways, I was saying, promised I'd tell you guys about some different music. Been listening to Iron Maiden Senjutsu. I got it a couple weeks ago. I told you we've been doing a lot of touring of state parks in our area. Especially since we moved, it's just we're a lot closer to some of them.
Can we get out this way?
And went to a Walmart up in Kentucky
Reach that.
and just happened to find the Senjutsu album in there, so I just picked it up.
All right, Joel. How do we get across?
Guess we gotta figure something out.
You know, I get that these kids probably grew up pretty much in this
Some
environment.
kind of track. Maybe there's a way we can use it.
I don't need your advice, my friend. Well, you know you're not even a friend anymore. You're a backstabber. I get that he's looking out for his... I'll have to clear it. Or why don't you go down and clear it? I've done all the work this far.
Look, a generator.
Where? Over there. Well, swim for it, man. See, that's why I don't like this guy. Yeah, realistically speaking, he could put in some work too, but no, he relies on an old man to take care of the jobs, and then he stabs the guy in the back. And then they talk about, can they trust him? Well, no, you can't trust him because he stabbed him in the back. Okay, is there anything? What's in here? You gotta be kidding me. A firefly pendant. Yeah, realistically, I know that they're acting like the Fireflies was, at one point, a fairly large-sized organization. But, you know, with the rate they're dying out, why would a Firefly pendant just happen to be down in the sewers
Henry, give it a shot.
where nobody's been before?
All right.
Man, that water's got to stink.
Yeah, it's working.
I'm
Go have a
guessing
look. You keep an eye out.
Ellie, I'm pretty sure, can take care of those too. She's a dependable girl. The minute I saw her, you know, pull out the gun and shoot the guy to save Joel, that's the minute I'd start putting her in a lot of responsibilities, because anybody who's willing to do that for somebody, you know that they got your back. You can't always treat kids like children. You got to, especially in this situation, you got to be able to look at a situation and say, okay, this kid's going to have to go through a lot, but I've got to prepare them for what's coming. Okay, I can afford to waste that because I got 3 shivs now. And that really does help in some of these cases. I can get 2 strikes off of that because I'm so low on ammo. That could save my life in a fight.
Oh, shit.
Is there any reason I'm... Okay, maybe I can do this without alerting those clickers. Steady on. Steady on. So these apparently were soldiers, of course. Shoot. Okay, good thing I did that. No! Okay, it cost me a shiv and my knife thing, so now I don't know if that was worth that, but I got 2 revolver bullets. So if the kid gets injured and me, at least I can do right by us. What's this? Is this another ish note? Yes, it is. Yesterday I met some people that did not want to shoot me on sight. Shocking, I know. We traded some supplies and went on our merry way. They had kids with them and they seemed pretty scared. I almost told them about this place. What if they're like the others? What if... You know what? I don't care. What's the point of surviving if you don't have someone to laugh at your corny jokes? Tomorrow I'm going to search for them, see if they want to join me here. Ish. It's got to get lonely in a situation like that. I'm a type of person... For the most part, I'm pretty self-sufficient. Like I said a lot, in my childhood, it was mostly just me and my mother.
Okay? Yeah. Still in one piece.
And so, you know, I didn't have a lot of kids to play with. And the 2 kids I had to play with the most ended up teaching me some very important lessons in not letting your friends use you. My mom and I were never really well off. We were able to pay our bills, and we struggled to do that. And I know my mother made a lot of sacrifices for me, because I always had whatever I need. I rarely missed. If there was a game, I didn't get like every single video game that came out, but if there was a game I really wanted, my mom always made a way to get it for me and stuff, and a toy or whatever else there was out there. But I had 2 friends growing up, and they both used me and my mother. One of them, and of course, hang on. So I was saying, they both like to use me and my mother to support them. Just not like little cheap things like a hamburger here or there.
That's smart.
You know, just expensive stuff that we couldn't afford. And eventually, when we told them, look, this isn't right, this is more than we can afford. What, can she not climb up there? There she goes.
See if that generator still got some juice.
They got mad and left. They were fine feathered, fine weathered friends. And then, oh shit. What about me? You dipshits.
Can't believe this actually worked.
Yeah, don't jinx us.
So what, you guys are just gonna leave me here? Can you send it back? How am I supposed to get up there? Oh, is he gonna help me up? Thanks.
Time to get going.
I don't know if I trust him though.
I gotta say, I'm impressed with you too.
We're pros at this by now.
Anyways, I was saying, then the second friend I had was a preacher's son. And my mother, like I've said before, is a very devout Christian. I was raised in a very devout Christian household, and I see myself as a Christian. I wouldn't say I'm the best one in the world.
What's up with this?
You think there's people inside?
Maybe.
Are we really going in there?
No other choice.
Okay, before anything, let me just tell the story real quick. And you'd think a preacher's family would be very, they were part of a big church in town. They invited, we met because we both had a love of trading cards, Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon. We used to play the Pokemon games on our DS together after school and stuff. And he invited me to the church, and me and my mother went and became members there. We ended up liking it quite a bit. But then it just became this thing where we'd go like to vacation Bible school, and somehow they would have my mom pay for me a room, or like lads for leaders and stuff like that, and then somehow they would put all their kids in there with me so that they would be able to not have to pay for a room for their kids and stuff, and just different things. They took me to a summer camp, paid an exorbitant price, my mother did, and she didn't want me to go. She offered to give me the money, in fact, or part of it, if I didn't go, just to buy whatever I wanted with. And I wanted to do it because I thought it'd be a fun. They promised horseback riding, all this stuff, cave exploration, because I was big into that. And none of that was true. It was 110 degrees on the top of a mountain. It was so hot that you would almost have a heat stroke, and they wouldn't allow the kids to stay in the cabins, because it was a boy and girl camp mixed in. And the pool was pretty much off limits because there was I don't know what the proper term is, so I apologize, but it was a special needs kid, and he'd skinny dip in the pool. So that kind of screwed that over, and it was the best thing that you could get, and I never once got to do it. I did get to explore the cave, no horseback riding, because yes, they had horseback riding, but what the preacher forgot to mention, it's not for people my age. I was like 10 at the time. And I ended up, because at night was the only time, you had about 2 hours at night, and it was about a good 80 degrees, so at least it was manageable. And so we was playing at night, and we was doing like a race, and I ended up getting a stone into my kneecap. And if it was just an inch deeper, I would have had to add stitches. And I had to pull the stones out by hand. And I didn't even realize I was bleeding at first. And then once I started yanking them out, I realized that my whole leg was already covered in blood before I yanked them out. And just things like that. I mean, just you're talking about a person who had the money to take care of his family, and he was having a single mother and her son pay for his family's trips and stuff. And the whole family had some mental issues, and I'm not saying that to make fun of them. The dad, I believe, had bipolar disorder, and sometimes he was the preacher, and he would sometimes have like little flip outs. When I got baptized in that church, he went with my family to celebrate at a restaurant, and he just got mad over different things and just kind of made a little scene, and kind of, we all made a face. And then I would stay over at their house quite often, and my dad was an abusive person. I've mentioned that before. And they wouldn't let my friend, his son, come over to my house, even though my dad had been moved out of the state for a while, and then when he came back to the state, he was 2 or 3 hours away. Like there was nothing going to happen to his boy. And the few times we went to the movie something together, his mom texted her. Like, they didn't trust their son with my mother, who was an overprotective mom and still is to this day. But she would trust me to go to their house, and I always felt hurt by that, especially now that I got old enough to realize that my mother knew the whole time, but she let me, even though she knew that the camp probably wouldn't be what I wanted, she could tell that I was getting used. She let me figure it out myself, and I think that was one of the most important lessons I ever learned in life, because I was about 10 to 14 when all this happened, and it taught me to be very cynical. Now, I'm not saying that was my mother's lesson, but it taught me not to let people use me. I saw it, and I began to understand it, and I came to the conclusion myself, and I told both of them off. And unfortunately, and I'm not saying this just to put down his family, it turned out that his father, every night when we would have sleepovers, he'd leave to write his sermons at the church. And I always thought that was strange. Every night he'd do that. Or not every night, but every time I was there. I just thought maybe he had a problem with me. But it turned out he was having an affair on his family, and he broke up his home. And it was a very sad situation because his mama was a very nice lady. And he had 2 little siblings. His younger brother was autistic, and he was a great little kid. He didn't talk it to you much at first. He wasn't nonverbal, but he just didn't talk to you at first. But once he got to know you, and we became very good friends, he'd talk your ear off. He was a massive Star Wars fan, and he knew everything about it, and I was big into Star Wars. We'd sit down and watch the shows together. We'd read the comics together, and he was just a great little kid. And, it was just sad to see that family hurting like that. But in some ways, I feel like God pays people back for what, it might not be in your time. Some people, even the Bible says, will have their paradise on earth. But, in that case, I feel like maybe not just the treatment of me, probably just the treatment of his family, but all of that came back on that man. And especially, the Bible says God judges his anointed ones more harshly. And so I always just think about stuff like that. And that's why, to this day, I let people approach me more, but I'm very cautious. I don't just walk up to people and have conversations that much. And I think I got shaped by that. And that's why when I play games like this, I see how this guy he sees this as an opportunity to help his brother get to his destination safer, but he isn't that concerned about this girl or this man. He's using them for his further gains, but the minute there's a situation like there was before where Joel's left behind, he will leave him behind because he's not important to the situation. And I know that kind of went on a rant, but I think that's why I have such a headspace. I don't like this guy. I've been betrayed too much by people, but it taught me to learn not to deal with these kinds of people anymore. Whoa! Trap.
Oh, it's a sound trap.
A what?
It's a sort of alarm.
I don't hear anything.
The
Someone
bottles.
used to live here. Don't look like that's the case anymore.
House rules. Maybe this was Ishmael's place.
Who would stay in here?
Make sure doors are locked.
Someone thought they could keep a place like this
Ask
safe.
for what password if you don't know the visitor. No shouting. And noisy play. Run to hiding spot when you hear the alarm. What's that? Ooh. Is that a shotgun pistol? Shorty. Okay, let's put the revolver here and Shorty there. Does that use the same bullets? I would imagine so. Which seems silly then. Why would I want that weapon when I have this one? But it only has 4 when it should have 8. Maybe it just has less capacity. I don't know. I guess I'll figure that out. I can't remember if it... I don't really use the Shorty ever. Okay, watch yourself, kid. What's this? Ooh, survival guide. That's pretty much ruined. Containment. How's that supposed to help me? My bomb's explosion radius is... So from reading a half of a ruined page, Joel...
You hear that? Infected.
Shh. Quiet.
Okay, so this place is overrun. Out of the way, dude. I'm not going in there just yet. I've not got that many bullets. I'm not going in on a suicide mission until I'm prepared. So they even have a little soccer thing set up, or football, depending on what country you're watching this from. I always prefer to call it football. I grew up watching Top Gear, and so I picked up a lot of British phrases, even though I'm Tennessee redneck. And so I apologize if I ever say something kind of British and you might think I look stupid. I picked it up and I've said some of that stuff for years. How? Dude, could you have got him? There you go. Clicker. Man, the AI still... I thought that they would have improved him a little bit. He still does the square root of jack shit to help you fight.
Seeing how there was a clicker that'd been gone for a while.
We keep moving forward.
So these were the people who lived here. So someone had to have gotten infected. Man, how did I blow the arm off? I thought I just hit the head twice. I'm too low on ammo to be doing the fighting for this group. Oh, man, nice water catching. Drinkable. Yeah, see, you can tell they've set this up. Well, they had it set up. This is like a water refinement area. I'm guessing they used tarps or something probably to catch the water. Yeah, you can see some tarps. Catch the water and kind of filter it to the best. Man, that guy's been dead for a while. My dad was into survival stuff. I mentioned that before, so I know some of this. Hey, Susan, I just wanted to drop you a quick line, say these rain catchers were a great idea. super smart to gather water without leaving the place. I hope you don't mind, but I gave the kids a couple water guns, so of course I've been drenched all day. If you don't want them to have it, let me know and I'll take them back. See you at dinner tonight. Fair warning though, Kyle is making his special meatloaf again, ish. So yeah, he invited the family in. I hope that's not ish. Not drinkable. So yeah, they filter this stuff. This was a smart little commune down here. It's sad it ended, but you know, all things must come to an end. I hope Ish was at least happy for a while. He deserved it. Nobody, you know, living out in the seas like that alone, that's got to take a toll on somebody. Okay, I'm guessing this is a shiv door. Yeah, no. More dead people, I'm guessing. Yep. They covered some of them with sheets. Supplements. We're trapped. I think everyone else is dead. Some of the little ones are with me. I got infected pounding at the door. I don't know how long we'll hold out. If Ish and the others are alive, maybe they can reach us. If it comes down to it, I'll make it quick. Kyle.
Jesus.
Oh, so these are the babies. Oh, man. I could not do what he did. I know that it's for their own good, but Lord have mercy. They didn't suffer. I hope you're right. That would be hard. That's like that. What was that movie? The Mist, I think it was. Lord, that movie has one of the darkest endings I think I've ever seen. And I love how quickly it comes, because it adds to that oh no factor that when you first watch that movie. There's spores, it looks like. That's dust or something.
Hey, you think that leads out?
Could be. It's too hot for a boost. Maybe there's another way to get there.
There's stuff back here. I can't deal with a million infected again. Oh crap.
Sam!
Yeah, I'm cool.
That was me. I must have triggered some kind of safety gate or something. Henry, see if we can lift this.
So, this is awkward.
Yeah, I know. It's like every time.
Okay.
Hey, this thing isn't budging, man. Just go. Get out of here. Sam, you stay close to him.
Henry, we gotta fucking move!
Keep
Go!
him safe. Go!
You're gonna be fine.
Yeah, I know.
All right, come on, kid. See if we can find a way out of here, yeah?
I've only got 6 bullets for this.
Okay.
8 shotgun shells, 2 revolver bullets, and 4 shorty shells. I'll use the rifle first. I got some arrows too, but I seldomly use the arrows. I got 40. Getting that Shiv Master is the most important. Okay, I hear something. There be monsters.
Stay behind me. If I run, you run.
Yeah.
I saw something there. Oh crap. I gotta find a place to make a stand. Crap. Crap, I'm dead, I think. Yep. Man, so it's stalkers. Okay, grab this stuff very carefully. I hate trying to fight these stalkers because I don't have the ammo for this, for one thing. Nor do I have the patience. At least this guy wasn't shot to the chest. Eddie can't say that last name. If I have to use my shotguns, I'm using the shotguns. They're watching us. There's one. That is terrifying how they move.
Joe, there's something over there.
I know. Oh, you've got to be kidding me.
On your right.
Man, there's nothing creepier than going through our protectors. Oh crap. Crap. Get off me! That had shorty ammo there. Crap. Kid, watch it. That had ammo too. Crap, get out of my way. Out of my way, you bastards! And I'm dead, crap. Man, there's so many of them. And because of how fast they move, it makes it so much harder to be able to actually fight them. Okay, there we go. Let's try this again. I'm hoping I can just do like I did back there and completely avoid a fight if necessary. That is terrifying watching those things, though. It makes you... These sections is where the horror game elements feel the best, the strongest, and give this game... Either it should have been more like... I feel like the sequel might have benefited better if it had doubled down. That's where we need to go.
Infected.
What a waste of a shiv. Boost him up there.
Go ahead.
Come on, go, boy, go. Come on, son. Move. There's one watching me back there.
There we go.
Good job, kid.
I'll miss that shorty ammo, but I'm gonna have to... That's not a fight that we want to take. Okay. That is terrifying watching how those things move around.
Is that
Ellie.
Ellie?
Come on.
I know how to use the flashlight.
Joel, that's them.
Sam!
Oh, thank God. We gotta keep running. Go away, over there.
Sam!
Run! There's so many of them!
Man, how many people were living in this commune?
Maybe if we push it together.
Come on, go.
Sam! He just crawled through.
He what? Sam, what the hell are you doing?
Getting us out of here.
Well, hurry up then.
Good boy. Go.
Everyone upstairs. Let's go.
Let's do this. Come on. Run. Crap. Which way? I guess just down here. Okay. Is there anything? Coffee maker. Let's just do. Is that 1, 2, 3, 4? I'll take it. Shotgun shells. Hallelujah. Oh, I'm guessing that guy probably.
They're stuck.
Here, give me a boost. I can get through that window.
Open it from the other side.
Make it fast.
Come on, Sam. You're not staying in here.
What about you?
I'll be fine. Come on, go.
Hope you're ready, my friend.
Here we go.
You take the left, I'll take the right. Oh, they're all coming in. Dang! Meat fountain. Just let it burn. Sweet, that was a free Molotov. I didn't even see that. Go. Why won't they go? Go!
Go.
I ain't wasting no more ammo on these guys.
Fresh air.
Look at this.
Warning, infected inside, do not open. Maybe that's Ishmael that
We're
wrote
on the other
that.
side, guys.
So where's this tower?
We're close. Come on, let's go.
Sorry, I don't know what happened to Ishmael.
How you doing, little man?
That was a close one, huh?
Yeah, not one of our finest moments, but we made it out.
Yeah.
He got lucky. And eventually all luck runs out.
Hey, look at that. Yep, what'd I tell you, huh?
Let's find a way around to it.
What I don't get is, why do they think this radio tower, man, more katsu, will work?
How about you? How you holding up?
Business as usual, right? When I was with Henry, I took out a couple of infected by myself. You'd be proud.
Yeah.
I'm guessing all that on there probably means infected. I don't know what that means. 11, that looks maybe like coordinates. I have no idea. I'm not much about stuff like that. All I know is there's stuff in these houses. And apparently there's no one here. Scissors. Bolt. Pills. Stuff in the basement. Oh, tools. Sweet. That's just a cleaning brush, essentially. That scrubs gunpowder and oil, you know, crudded up oil out of there.
What was this place like without infected? Can't even imagine it.
Yeah, it's kind of rough when you see. There's nothing creepier than deserted houses. You know, just you see these snapshots of people's lives just frozen, and all the bad stuff in. Another night, another shooting. I could see the muzzle flashes coming from Carson's windows. I stayed up the entire night. with a whole family in one room. I doubt anybody got any sleep. It's only a matter of time before the looters try to break into our house. We have to get out of here. That skinny man approached us again. He traded more of his bullets for some of our food. He offered us to join him in his hideout. He says it's secure and, more importantly, hidden. Easily defendable is how he described it. He said that the only reason he trusts me is because I have kids. I don't think we can stay here anymore. He seems like a trustworthy guy. I'm going to suggest to everyone tomorrow that we take him up on his offer. Kyle. Oh, that's the guy who had to put down his kids. Well, I mean, I guess for a little while it might have been. But unfortunately, yeah, it was... There's not an idea probably where he could take that. It looked like he had maybe 3-4 kids is what I'm going to say he had. There's no way you can take care of... That's a lot of responsibility in a situation like this. I don't think there's any way you could take care of them all. You'd have to be somewhere like out in the country with
It was pretty intense.
border walls, you know, Donald Trump border walls up all around it.
How did you two end up together?
Oh, a friend of mine, Marlene, asked him to take me to the Fireflies.
You seem to get along well.
Yeah, well, now I just boss him around. Isn't that right, Joel?
Oh, can I interact here? I guess he's not going to answer them. Or maybe I missed the opportunity. Okay, how many pills do I have? 45. I'm a little bit less than halfway there. Nice back porch. Covered, mostly. We had a back porch like that at our old house, but it wasn't covered, and so every time you tried to sit outside, you'd roast, and it was terrible. The only time you could sit out was at night, and even then, it wasn't really that great. Mosquitoes and all that.
I was just 5 when the cordyceps hit. My memory's pretty hazy, but...
So he's grown up like this.
Just like this.
What do you remember?
Barbecues. Parents, they would throw these crazy big barbecues and invite a ton of people. You know, I remember the smell more than anything. Weird.
My dad used to throw barbecues. I have a gun. You loot. I shoot. We'll shoot to kill. Does that say shot to kill? Oh no, he did put 2. It looked like 1 at first. Okay, so is there any other... I only went in these 2 houses. I don't think that one's is able to be opened. Yeah, vines growing up in front of it. I love how that's just a universal signal for the door can't be opened because there's a few bits of kudzu in your way. This looked like a nice little neighborhood street. Had stairs that led you down to the next level.
Aw, doggies.
Those are wolves.
Stay away from those. It's not like it is in the zone. These are wild.
I like how they're playing. Okami and his brother have been playing like that in the backyard all day. Yes, workbench.
What is this?
Oh, this is an ice cream truck.
An ice cream truck?
Yeah, Henry told me about these. They sell ice cream out of the truck.
What? No way. Joel?
Yeah. I'm on my way. Turn around, man. Out of the way.
That's true. This thing would drive around and play real loud, creepy music, and kids would come running out to buy ice cream.
You're totally fucking with me.
Serious.
Man, you lived in a strange time.
Told you so.
Maybe it's just because I live in kind of a somewhat rural Tennessee, but we don't have ice cream trucks. I didn't think they were still a thing.
Let's see what we got.
Okay. What can I upgrade here? Did it say I could upgrade the range? Yes. The one problem I have with this shotgun more than anything is somewhat unreliable range. What's he gonna do? Fit us? Oh, he's changing out the barrel. Oh no, he's putting, what is that, a choke? I think it's a choke. I'm not certain that's the right tool that would have tightened that on there. And that original didn't look like it, so I need level 5 for that. I'll let everything else go on that for now. Having just the more reliability on it, piercing, that might not be a bad thing. Okay, now that's not bad. I need that. Make this a much more useful weapon, especially with enemies with helmets. Oh, he's completely changing the barrel. No idea what he did there. Okay, so that's... yeah, that's got a more... I don't know what that's got. Muzzled barrel is rifled. I'm not going to try to act like I know all of it. I just know some basic stuff, and that's about it. Fire rate, capacity. So I can upgrade the capacity of the Glock again. I still don't think that's a Glock, but I have no idea what it's supposed to be. The 9mm. Full capacity. Now, if I can get any more ammo for the thing, at least then it'll be somewhat reliable. Okay, now for the shorty. Spread. Okay, recoil first, and then spread. I love how they're just sitting around while Joel sits there and takes care of his straps. Crap, I don't have enough. Oh, I don't have the right thing. Yeah, again, that doesn't work. You can't just grab the barrel and give it a little twist and expect your gun to work better, my friend. Okay, now I put a muzzle on it. And, okay, now that's good. He's cleaning his barrel. Although you'd go a lot further than that. Don't have enough parts for that. Fire rate, reload speed, capacity. I'm going to increase the shotgun is becoming my main weapon. So, capacity. Again, I guess the idea is because if it's cleaner, he can load shells faster because there's no dirt or nothing in the way, but it doesn't work that way. You can't just rub something over it and then it works. Do I have, well, it showed some stuff. Is there anything else I can do? I'd rather use every bit of my parts while I can. Reload speed for that. Reload speed. I guess I'll go ahead and do the reload speed for that. Yeah, that, again, doesn't work like that. Or wait, is he putting a different... Oh, so yeah, he put one... I don't know what those things are called. I think they're called hook grips. I've seen military use stuff like that. It's supposed to make it a little faster to knock it out. I don't know what it's called, though, exactly.
This'll do just fine.
There we go. So I got 6 round capacity in my shotgun and can now pierce through armor with the rifle. That's good. We only got a few more minutes left, probably by the time we finish scavenging these houses. Can I make a new shiv? I got plenty of shivs. More parts. Maybe I can do something. I highly doubt it. You kind of just, every time you see a workbench, you just use whatever parts you have, and that's generally going to do you till you get to another workbench. You almost never find enough that can do you, that you can go back and get something else. Kara, you're the adult while I'm gone. Take care of your brother. He's looking for for protection now. I won't be gone for more than a few days to gather food and supplies. If for some reason I haven't returned after a week, take your brother and head to the Pittsburgh quarantine zone. Don't open the door to anyone but me. Save your bullets if you have to leave. Stay low and move quickly. Use your size to your advantage. I'll see you soon, Dad. Kara, size to your advantage. I mean, I'm guessing he means she's a big girl, but realistically, that's not good at... There are some women who can kick a man's ass from here to Texas. My grandmother and my mother are two of those women. The women, not all the women, but for some reason, my grandmother and my mother and my great-grandmother and my aunt inherited this very fighty gene. For some reason, the rest of my aunts were very passive. They seem to have taken after their father, my grandmother said. And so does my mother. My grandmother grew up, she was a young girl, Loretta Lynn style when she got married. She was a girl herself.
You alright?
Yeah, sailing's falling apart.
Get me up there.
Anyway, and so, I mean, you're talking about nowadays people... I'm not condoning abuse or, anything like that, or affairs or anything, but I'm just... Back in those days, people took marriage extremely seriously. Whether it's because of social issues or whatever you wish to use as the reason for it.
You find anything?
My grandmother's first husband, he passed away. She became a widow, is essentially what I'm saying.
Thank you.
Yeah. Melee weapon modifications last 2 hits longer. Sweet. Good thing I came here. Why is he just stepping backwards? Anyway, women and men didn't get divorced as much, And so when there was a problem, you dealt with it. And my grandmother's first husband, he would come home drunk and mess with her. And so one day she just picked up a cast iron skillet and thwack right in the face. She thought she killed the man. And I've heard a lot of stories like that. From people from that generation. My mother used to drive my great aunt, her aunt, and my grandmother around to visit their relatives. They were from up in Hillham, Tennessee, and there's still quite a bit of our relatives scattered through there. We're kind of we moved up closer to that area. Most of that generation's deceased though now. But they would tell these stories, and back then, they were just tough. My grandmother, never took crap off of a guy. She was one of the only women that I could honestly look anybody in the face and say that she could kill a man. My father, as I said before, was abusive to my mother. Before I was born, while she was like 4 months pregnant with me, or not 4, just about enough to know that she's really having me. So I don't know about all this stuff. If you are knowledgeable on it, then you can understand what I'm saying. He attacked my mother quite badly, and my mother had been wanting to wait for a special time. She had planned it to tell my grandmother that she's going to be a grandma. And, then she had to call my grandma over the fight, and my dad had to spill the beans early. Well, his idea was to say, well, she's just pregnant. She doesn't know what she's talking about. She's just emotional. Bad idea for him, because she said, and she was a 70-year-old woman at this point. And my father was in his 30s, and he was never bulky, but, this was a stout guy. He could take on another man and probably kick his ass. And she threatened to go down there with her baseball bat, and my family called her Have Bat Will Travel, because before Harley Quinn used to bat, my grandmother used to bat, and I'll share more stories about that at a later time. But she threatened to come down there with her baseball bat, kick the shit out of my dad for messing with her grandbaby and her daughter, tie him with whatever you call it, bungee cord or whatever she had in her car, by the neck, face down to her car, and drag him down the driveway. And he never messed with my grandmother again. He called her ma'am to the day she died, and if he didn't hear, he'd say, "I'm sorry, ma'am, could you repeat that?" Never once messed with my grandmother. And the thing is, he could take her probably, But that doesn't mean that she wouldn't kick his ass first. That was a woman that you did not mess with, especially when it came to me and my mother and her other children. And then my mother, they used to call her Mom at Ali when she was in high school. She took after my grandmother, and she loved to fight people. Even, she was passive with my dad for years, because I think it's because of me, mostly. She didn't want me to see stuff like that. But, I'll share some stories about that later. But, yeah, I grew up with a family of very strong women, and I saw, they can hold their own, but realistically, I'm guessing the girl on that note is what I'm getting at, was probably about 14, 15. Maybe she's a big basketball player girl, or some tall, 6 foot for her age. You still can't wrestle a man unless you have. My grandmother and my mother never won a fight, almost. My mother did once, and I'll tell those stories later. I guess my dad was threatening to hurt me bad, and so she had enough, and she defended her child. And she didn't have a weapon. She just beat the shit out of him for threatening to hurt her kid. But my grandmother always used a weapon almost. A baseball bat, whatever she got. Ashtrays, frying pan. My mother, I've heard the stories from my uncle and stuff. She chased a guy with a tent post, busted a radio after another guy said. My grandmother taught her daughters to defend herself. And you can't fight realistically without a weapon. My mother and my grandmother were not big women. I'm not saying they're like 6 foot tall Amazons. They were like 5'5". My great grandmother was a little woman, like 5'3", 80 pounds, and she was tough as nails. From the way I understand it, I never got to meet her, but my mother, told stories about her. But realistically, these women from that era, they were raised tough. They learned to not take stuff off their husbands. And most of these guys, once they fought back, even my dad, after my mom fought back over they separated after that and stuff. But he never crossed her again. He treated her with respect, just like he did my grandmother. Back in those days, men seemed to respect a fighty girl. And, it didn't change things between my dad. He's still an evil man for things he did. Now, I'm not saying that, things were better between them, but I'm just saying things, they learn to fight and defend themselves from these kinds of men. But a girl who's probably never been in that many scrapes, you can't just use her size to her advantage, because a bunch of guys, that's just asking for your daughter to get, taken and raped and a bunch of other bad things. Okay, kids drawing, our protectors, Ish and Danny. So that's what Ish looks like. I'm guessing he's bald. What about the... This is one open door. That's all it took. One of us forgot to close the door, and a horde of those monsters entered our camp. We shut them in there, wrote a warning on the outside. Susan and a couple of kids are with me. As far as I know, we're the only survivors. I had to hold Susan so she wouldn't run back in there and go back for the bodies. It's just too dangerous. She lost her children, and I have no clue what to say to her. Every part of my being just wants to give up. It'd be so easy to surrender to this world. I can't do that, though. I have too much faith in humanity. I've seen what we're still capable of. We can make it. We have to stay strong for her. Ish. I hope you made it, my friend. Tough old bastard. Okay, I'll find the combination to that safe eventually. We only got a couple minutes left, so we'll probably, after we search this upstairs and stuff, move on. What's this? 8/21/36. Well, that was perfect timing. 8/21/36. Arrows. Why would you just have a couple of arrows sitting in your... Man, this would be a pain in the ass to get furniture up. You're talking what? 3 flights? Yeah, 3 flights is it. 8/21/36. Let me see what they're doing downstairs first. I don't want to miss something if it's important. 8/21/36.
Hey, Sam, be careful.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, let's see what these kids can do. I like how they do have interactions if you're taking too long. They'll play darts and stuff.
Oh.
Not too bad.
Your turn.
Okay. Just throw it.
Yeah.
Boosh. I am a natural.
Luck.
No, it wasn't.
Most luck.
Good shot, boy.
Alright, get out of here. You're getting cocky. Here we go. Fuck!
Nice.
Horrible.
Oh, not that bad.
It's a tie.
No. You clearly got destroyed.
How did I clearly get destroyed? That's practically a tie.
Yeah.
I do love how they give Ellie moments where she can be a child. And they I think the boy's name is Sam, and the bigger one is Henry. I get them mixed up. But, you know, I think that's part of this game is the characters is the most important bit of the game. And they do give the characters time to shine. How did I get that wrong? I thought I had that memorized. $821.36. I was one digit off. $8 21 36. Vitamins, parts, ammo. That was quite a bit. We're getting there now. 65. Now, I don't think, even with 50 parts, I don't think I could really do much of importance. What's that? Oh, can I play darts? You'll get the bullseye. Or do I have to aim it because if it's me? No, man! Way off.
There'll come a day where kids can just be kids again.
I doubt that.
Let's go.
I mean, it's a sad reality, but realistically, in a world like this, you look at it and you can't honestly convince yourself that there ever will be that day come again. It just doesn't feel like it. You know, it's a dark world, and I think that's one of the reasons this game, like I said, the story isn't really that great. It's a road story. That's all it is. It's a bunch of people taking a road trip, much like Logan and movies like that, which Logan happens to be one of my favorite movies. But the reason it did well is because of the characters, just like Logan. They took a character that, let's be honest, we never got to see the best of in the movies. That was almost, every time there was a Wolverine movie, it was PG-13. No cussing, no blood. So this character that is such a badass in the comics that he literally sold his soul just so that he could live longer, even though he's got adamantium bones and all that stuff, giving him an advantage already. And they ended up making him finally very close to what we had seen in the comics without taking away from his arc in the movies. You know, he seemed like a caring man, but very similar to Joel. He'd been hardened by loss and everything else. And I think they did a phenomenal job with his character in that movie. And I feel like this is, I don't know for certain if The Last of Us was an inspiration for that movie. I don't like saying that, I know for certain it was when I have no clue. But where was that thing? And then I need to end. But you can see a lot of similarities between the characters, little girl characters.
We'll shoot on sight. Lots of friendly people live here.
First few months after the outbreak, they had a lot of loot. Everyone got paranoid.
Oh, there it is.
You remember any of that, Joel?
Shit, I barely remember yesterday.
No, it's somebody who just wants to forget everything.
All right, let's do this.
I love how there just happens to be oil and everything he needs while he's there. Reload speed. Fire rate. Reload speed. There we go. I'm guessing. What does that have to do with anything? You tighten the grip. Oh, is he replacing the grip? Yes. Now that actually looks nice. No more of that old broken wood. It's like a proper Saturday night special now. Man, I'm one away from fully maxing this revolver. Well, if I find one more, I'll come back. But I've taken up enough of you guys' time. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys are enjoying this series. I know that I have. Every episode seems to be getting better for me. Although, like I said from the beginning, I'm not going to keep hammering it in. You guys are smart. You've heard it before. $70 for this game? Don't think so. But still, it's one of those games when you remember the story. It's a zombie apocalypse road story with an interesting twist on the zombies. That doesn't really sound like a great story, but when you experience the characters, because I forget every little piece of dialogue, when you see them playing darts and when you see them talking about comics and just chilling and talking about the past, it gives them, when you play something like Mass Effect, which I love Mass Effect, and if you've seen some of my videos, I talked about how great of a game it is. It has a very robotic way of talking. Tell me about the Reapers. I don't want to talk about the Reapers anymore. Tell me about the Citadel, and just this very robotic conversations. Whereas this has a very normal dialogue. He doesn't just sit and go into this tale. Back in 1937, we saw the Great War and blah blah blah. He just says, "Well, shit, I can't remember yesterday," and just blows it off. But it's a very natural way of talking. It sounds like my uncle, my oldest uncle, and just natural dialogue sounding. You can tell that they wanted this to sound realistic to a degree, and they accomplished that. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you've enjoyed, and hope you have a fantastic rest of your evening.